Homeownership is important because it is, for the vast majority of people, the number one path towards wealth. Most people own nothing. Like, they don't own any assets. And if someone does own an asset, it is their primary residence, it's their home. And so, yes, there's other ways to be wealthy. There's other ways to accumulate wealth. You can accumulate wealth without ever owning the home you live in. For example, you could rent where you live and then own 100 rental homes, and then it's the same concept, right? It's wealth either way. But for the average person buying a home with a mortgage, the reason why home ownership is so valuable is because it's historically been attainable. It makes sense. It's like, okay, I get to buy the asset, I get to live in the asset. Also, essentially, the government subsidizes and provides the world's best financing for these assets. So the returns on single family, you can't really compare apples to apples because they look really good, but they're actually more risky because it's fueled by more debt. So it's actually debt financed higher returns by buying like, why you should maybe buy a home instead of investing in the stock market. It's like, well, one is perhaps riskier because it's more levered, which is why you're seeing the better return. But anyway, those are just some of the factors of why it is attractive to own a home.
Also, just getting your fixed cost right. It's kind of it is in a sense it's a levered, and then it's also hedging against inflation to a certain extent. What do I mean? Well, if rent's going to keep clipping and clipping and growing and growing and growing, if you lock in your mortgage, I mean, the biggest winner, you could argue, one of the bigger winners would be anyone whom either acquired a house or refied their house at a point in which your debt is sub 4%, because we may never get those mortgages for a couple decades.